Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the Bulldog Breakdown on WRPS. I'm out of the Dave Cable Murphy WRPS studio right here in Rockland, Massachusetts. I'm Ben Carpine, your host. Very excited to get this next episode up and running. Today really is all about kind of wrapping up winter sports and getting, looking forward into what's ahead for spring sports. I'm personally very excited. Start seeing leaves on trees, a lot of outdoor sports. Just something about the air of spring sports that's really just kind of calming and nice, and my personal favorite season. So I'm ready to jump right into spring sports. But first, we're just going to do a quick winter sports recap. You guys know how I like to do it. I like to go over what's happened over the last couple weeks or week or so, or month, excuse me. And then we can move forward. So we're going to jump right into basketball for now. But again, this is the Bulldog Breakdown on WRPS. Thank you for watching, and we will be back in just a moment. Well, boys basketball sits right now at 5-11, 4-10 in the South Shore League. As of February 9th at 4 a.m., they are 43rd in the South Shore, in Division 4 for ranking. So they need to get 11 spots higher in order to qualify for the tournament. You have to be top 32 again to qualify for the Division 4 state tournament and a shot at the championship. 5-11. Definitely been kind of a rough around the edges year for this Rockland basketball team, and you can't really blame them. Again, you lost, your top scorer last year in Mike Moriarty. You lost a good shooter in Gavin Wardwell. You lost, your Rockland mentality guy in Lucas Leander, and now you're kind of, you're rebuilding a team. You're trying to get an identity, and I think that's something that Rockland's kind of been looking for this year, and I just don't think they've really had a consistent identity. 5-11, a shot at making the tournament is still possible, but I would say it's kind of a long shot, especially after their most recent loss to Sandwich. That was a heartbreaker, by the way, 2-point loss. Came down to the final shot at the end, just weren't able to convert. But going forward, Rockland plays, at the time that we're filming this, Rockland plays Hanover tonight, and on Thursday, February 15th, they will go to Middleborough, both of those games being away. They have the Abington tournament over February break, but I'll get into that a little bit later. And then if they should qualify for the tournament, that will start end of February, early March. But again, that's still a while down the road, and it's a big if, not really a when this year, if we will make the tournament. But that's an update that I can't make for you guys right now, so we're going to move over to girls basketball now from here. Girls basketball sits slightly better. They're sitting at 7-13, 7-6 in the league, however, and that 7-6 record is enough to get them at the 19th spot in Division 4. So they are up there in the tournament as of now, and they have one regular season game left, and that is on Thursday at home versus Middleborough. We have to pack the gym for that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go. I'll be playing versus Middleborough at their gym. But if you're available, this is their last regular season game of the year. Pack the gym for that. That should be a awesome atmosphere if the Rockland fans can turn out as they should. That's their last game of the season, I've already said. Currently 19th in the power rankings. That's subject to go up and down, basically every day of the week. And obviously with one game this week, it's really going to determine whether they stay at 19, they go up, they slide down. But I think Rockland will make the tournament this year for the girls team. And 7-13, you're thinking maybe that's not a very good record, and I would agree with you. But you got to remember, all 7 of their losses are from non-league games, so that's teams that they don't typically play. You got Brockton on that list. You got Bridgewater, Raynham. Some big schools that are D1, D2 schools. More than double the size of Rockland High School's population, and we only have 2 seniors on the team, I believe. As far as this girls' season goes, I wouldn't even go as far as to call it unsuccessful. I would actually say that Rockland's done a very good job with the cards that they've been dealt for this season. And, should they qualify for the tournament, which right now they are definitely well within the qualifications, and I can't imagine that they'll fall that far out of it over the next 4 days, I think that Rockland could go decently far in this year's tournament. But for now, again, that's all that I can update for you on girls basketball. We're going to move on now to the boys hockey team. Well, hockey right now sits at 4-16 after a loss to Norwell and a loss to Cohasset Hull. As far as hockey goes, again, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on hockey. I've never had the opportunity to play hockey, although I think it's actually a very fun sport, at least it looks like to play. But, as far as hockey goes, 4-16, not a super impressive record. That's where they're going to end their season. And I going to sound like a broken record here, but when you're playing kids that are in 8th and 9th grade, and some of those kids are, in your starting lineup or they're in your second line, it's impressive from any standpoint, no matter what your record is. So, boys hockey team, not that impressive this year. I think going forward, you go 2 or 3 years down the line, they're going to be a team to beat in the South Shore League. But really, that's all I can talk about on hockey right now. We're going to go on now to the wrestling team. Well, as far as the wrestling team goes, James Spinney qualified for the D3 States meet. He placed second in the entire tournament last weekend in Foxborough at the qualification meet. Aaron Ramponi and Keegan Butler both placed 6th in their respective divisions. Weight classes, excuse me. So Spinney will move on. He'll play at Wakefield High School this weekend for the D3 States meet while the rest of the wrestling team moves on. Congratulations to Spinney. That's obviously a great job to be recognized as one of the best athletes in the entire Division III state of Massachusetts. The other guys, obviously great job effort. This has not been the wrestling team this year. I think out of all the winter sports has really been fraught with just some issues that every sport has, but wrestling's had more of them. When I look at the seniors that are currently doing wrestling, Gustavo DePaula, Keegan Butler, James Spinney, that's a really good backbone of their program. And I think I'm actually taking words right out of the coach's mouth on Twitter there, Coach Harrison. Excuse me, wow. Because I'm pretty sure he said that exact thing. And those seniors, they've really held the team together well, considering all the challenges that the wrestling team has faced this year. And I think next year it's going to be tough to lose those guys. But congratulations to the wrestling team this year for how they did. Congratulations to Spinney, and best of luck to him as he moves on to the D3 States meet next weekend. But for now, we're going to move on to winter track. Winter track team right now seeing some pretty good successes over at Reggie Lewis Center. And as we unfold into spring sports pretty soon, just want to tell you some winter track stats. These three, athletes of the season, at least in my mind, of three. We got three players who are really going to look good going into the spring season as far as qualifying for states and stuff goes. And I have to start this off, I think, by talking about Emily Dunham. Ranked 35th right now in the state of Massachusetts at the girls' 300-meter dash. 43.43 seconds. That's really impressive. That's probably faster than I can run. It almost definitely is, actually. Very impressive. And to be ranked 35th in the entire state of Massachusetts, it's a very impressive feat. So congratulations to her hard work. It's all paying off, and it will definitely pay off this spring, looking at the 200-meter. Luca Bonach, he's placed 5th in the South Shore League Championship meet with a time of 2:50.88 in the 1,000-meter. That's a PR for him. Luca, congratulations. He's already qualified for the states meet this year, and that's just, another record to add to his book. And then, of course, talking Mia Radzik. She placed 2nd in the South Shore League Championship meet with a time of 4:49.7 in the 600-meter. So congratulations to her. Now, as we move on to the spring season, of course, the events change a little bit. 600-meter becomes the 400. The 1,000 becomes the 800, and so on and so forth. So that's why winter track, it really is a developmental season. And then spring, that's where you really see the fruit of all your efforts. So, pardon me. As we move on going into the spring season, which, by the way, the meeting for that is tomorrow, I'm looking forward to seeing how these athletes can perform, knowing how well they did in the winter season. But now we're going to move on. Some important things I think you guys should know as we transition from winter sports to spring. Well, we're moving on to spring sports really soon, and I can tell you I'm very excited. There's just something about spring sports that to me, I hold it near and dear to my heart. I don't know what it is. I think it's just seeing the leaves grow on trees and getting the warmer air, and it's the energy around the building because you're about to, for me, graduate or just leave the school for the year. There's just something about spring sports that to me is really awesome. I love spring sports personally. It's my favorite season. So as we gear up for the start of spring sports, which, believe it or not, it's February 12th right now. There's actually not that much time until spring sports start. Most captains' practices for most teams are going to start in a little bit less than a month, a little bit more than a month, I should say now. And by the time February break is over, pretty much every winter sport will be done at Rockland High School, considering that only one of them right now is in, I think, serious contendership to make the state tournament. So as we move ahead, whether it's spring track, baseball, lacrosse, or tennis, don't forget to check out those informational meetings. There's posters all around the high school. I know that at least for track there is. I'm sure there is for baseball. If you want to go talk to a head coach, try to get some information for that, please do. Or, you can just listen to those announcements. I don't know the dates myself. I wish I did. I would totally put them on the screen right now, but I don't know them off the top of my head. But if you are interested in playing a spring sport, which I highly, highly recommend, by the way, I think you should definitely look into it and take one of those options that I gave you, because you are not going to regret playing a spring sport if you choose to do so. So now, as we wrap up this final episode of Winter Sports Bulldog Breakdown, which I'm excited to get out and move on to the spring sports era of the Bulldog Breakdown, an era that we've never seen so far yet this year. I'm looking forward to getting this one out. Thank you for watching this episode of the Bulldog Breakdown. Again, I'm Ben Carpine out of the Dave Cable Murphy WRPS studio. Thank you for watching the Bulldog Breakdown, and we will see you again next episode. And remember, go Dogs.